By the time you hit 65, you've already lost 20% of the blood flow to your brain and even more to your eyes. That's not theory. That's data from the Journal of Cerebral Blood Flow and Metabolism. And without proper circulation, your neurons slow down. Your retina gets weaker. You start forgetting names, squinting at small print, or waking up foggy like your brain never really rested. Most people chalk it up to just getting old. But what if I told you that decline isn't random and it isn't irreversible? The truth is, your brain and your eyes don't shut down when you sleep. They go into repair mode, regenerating tissue, clearing out waste, restoring signals. But here's the key most people miss. They can't rebuild if you don't give them the raw materials to do it. And the good news? You don't need a prescription. You don't need expensive supplements. You just need a handful of the right foods before bed. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 powerful dry fruits that feed both your brain and your retina naturally, gently, and overnight. Each one is backed by science, and each one can be found in your kitchen or at your local store. So if you're over 60 and serious about staying sharp, stick with me. And if you're new here, go ahead and tap subscribe. This might be the simplest health shift you make all year. Let's start with a fruit that's been healing brains since ancient times, the fig. Let's talk about figs. They're sweet, chewy, ancient. But what most people don't realize is they're also brain food and retinal therapy in one bite. Inside every dried fig is a cocktail of nutrients your aging body is starving for, especially at night. We're talking about natural polyphenols, magnesium, potassium, and a fiber called physon that works silently while you sleep. Now, here's where it gets interesting. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Food Biochemistry, researchers found that fig extract protected brain cells from oxidative stress by increasing the levels of key antioxidants like glutathione and superoxide dismutase. What does that mean for you? It means figs may help protect your neurons from damage caused by inflammation and aging, 2 of the biggest drivers behind memory loss in seniors. But figs don't just defend, they rebuild. Figs have also been shown to enhance synaptic plasticity. That's the brain's ability to form new connections. A 2018 paper in Nutritional Neuroscience demonstrated that aged rats fed a fig-enriched diet performed better on memory tests than those who weren't, with clearer cognitive response and higher hippocampal activity. In short, figs help your brain reconnect with itself. And what about your eyes? The retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in your body. It burns through nutrients rapidly, even while you sleep. Figs deliver anthocyanins and natural sugars that help regenerate photoreceptor cells and improve microcirculation to the optic nerve. A 2021 clinical review from the Journal of Medicinal Plants concluded that figs help slow down retinal degeneration by improving blood vessel elasticity and reducing glycation in eye tissue, one of the hidden culprits behind blurred vision in older adults. Need a real-world example? One of my patients, 68 years old, used to wake up with dry eyes and brain fog. After adding just 2 dried figs before bed, her eye moisture improved within weeks, and so did her memory recall in morning conversations. Here's why that matters. Figs contain a small amount of natural sugar, but when eaten in the evening alongside protein or a spoon of nut butter, they stabilize blood sugar and help you fall asleep faster while fueling your brain's overnight cleaning crew. So what's the best way to eat them? Choose organic dried figs, soft and unsulfured. Eat 2 to 3 of them 1 hour before bedtime. You can eat them alone or pair them with a few almonds or a slice of cheese for balanced absorption. Avoid fig-based candies or jams. Those won't help because it's not about the taste. It's about what happens after you fall asleep, when those ancient fruits are doing modern miracles in your brain. Next, let's move on to a dry fruit that almost everyone has in their pantry, but almost no one realizes it could be saving their vision. Let's talk about raisins. Raisins. They're small, wrinkled, sweet, and most people think of them as just a snack for kids or a topping for oatmeal. But in reality, raisins are a concentrated powerhouse of neuroprotective and vision-supporting compounds, especially critical after the age of 60. You see, during sleep, the retina goes through intense metabolic activity. It's repairing photoreceptor cells. It's recalibrating the light-sensitive proteins that allow you to see in dim conditions. And all of that requires a constant supply of antioxidants, polyphenols, and micronutrients. Raisins deliver exactly that. In a 2019 study published in the Journal of Functional Foods, researchers found that black raisins contained high levels of quercetin and resveratrol, two compounds that protect retinal cells from oxidative stress and reduce inflammation in retinal blood vessels. That's crucial because one of the silent drivers of vision decline in older adults is chronic microinflammation in the capillaries of the eye. It doesn't show up overnight, but over time it restricts nutrient flow and your vision gets weaker in the dark, less focused, more strained. Raisins also contain natural boron and iron, which play a role in oxygenating neural tissue, including the retina and the optic nerve. A 2020 paper in the journal Nutrients confirmed that adequate iron intake from plant-based sources like raisins helps maintain mitochondrial energy in retinal pigment epithelial cells, which are vital for maintaining sharpness and contrast in vision. But the benefits don't stop at the eyes. Resveratrol, found in high amounts in dark raisins, has also been shown to support hippocampal function and cerebral blood flow. A 2017 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience demonstrated that older adults who consumed resveratrol daily had improved performance on spatial memory tests and reduced markers of brain inflammation. Now here's what makes raisins unique. Unlike fresh grapes, raisins are naturally dehydrated, which means all of their polyphenols are concentrated. So one small handful delivers 3 to 4 times the antioxidant capacity of the same volume of grapes. And because they're rich in glucose and fructose, they help fuel the brain's nocturnal energy demands without spiking blood sugar, especially when paired with protein or healthy fat. The best way to use raisins: eat a small handful, about 1 tablespoon, around 30 minutes before bed. Avoid the ones coated in oil or preservatives. You want plain, unsweetened organic raisins, preferably darker varieties, which are higher in resveratrol. This is one of the few cases where something so simple, so overlooked, can offer so much return to your vision, your brain clarity, and your overall resilience as you age. And next, we'll explore a fruit that doesn't just protect memory, it comforts it. Let's talk about dates. There's something comforting about dates. Soft, sweet, familiar. But behind that cozy taste is a fruit that's quietly becoming one of the most studied memory foods in brain aging science. Dates are rich in natural glucose, potassium, polyphenols, and a compound called beta-glucan, known to enhance synaptic transmission and reduce neural inflammation. Let's start with the science. In 2016, researchers at the University of Sfax published a study in Neural Regeneration Research showing that date fruit extract restored memory performance in aging rats exposed to oxidative brain damage. The group receiving dates had significantly higher acetylcholine levels, a neurotransmitter critical for memory retention and mental clarity. Why is that important? Because in adults over 60, acetylcholine production drops. This leads to slower processing, trouble recalling names, and losing track of familiar tasks. Dates act like a fuel, not just feeding the brain, but recharging the circuits that carry memory. A second study from Nutrients in 2021 went even deeper. It confirmed that date polyphenols help protect the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, from inflammation and beta amyloid buildup, the same toxic protein seen in Alzheimer's. But the impact doesn't stop there. Dates also support night vision thanks to their natural vitamin A content and carotenoids, which aid the regeneration of rhodopsin, the light-sensitive pigment in the retina. Now let me share something personal. One of my patients, Elaine, 73 years old, came to me frustrated. She couldn't remember where she left her keys, sometimes forgot names mid-sentence, and worst of all, stopped driving at night because of the blur and glare. We made one small change. She added 2 med-joule dates before bed, along with a few pumpkin seeds. Within 6 weeks, her confidence started to return. She said, "I can finally see the street signs again, and I don't feel lost in my own thoughts anymore." Now, was it just the dates? Of course not, but they played a critical role, providing the brain with stable glucose and the eyes with the nutrients to recover overnight. The best part, dates don't just work. They're enjoyable. Just be sure to eat them plain without coatings and limit to 1 or 2 dates per night to avoid excess sugar. Pairing them with a handful of seeds or yogurt slows absorption and enhances the effect. You don't need much, just consistency and a little faith in what nature has already perfected. And next, we turn to a fruit as golden as the setting sun, but far more powerful than its color suggests. Let's talk about dried apricots. Dried apricots aren't just a healthy snack. They're a shield, an orange barrier between your aging brain and the toxins trying to reach it. Let me explain. Your brain and your eyes are both protected by specialized filtration systems, the blood-brain barrier and the blood-retinal barrier. These barriers act like security guards, deciding what gets in and what stays out. But here's the problem. After 60, these barriers start to weaken. That allows more oxidative stress, toxins, and inflammatory proteins to sneak through, leading to cognitive fog and vision loss. This is where dried apricots come in. Apricots are one of the richest natural sources of beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that converts to vitamin A. This nutrient is essential for retinal integrity, neurogenesis, and immune protection inside the central nervous system. In a 2019 study published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research, scientists found that beta-carotene reduced permeability in the blood-brain barrier, preventing inflammatory cytokines from crossing into brain tissue. That means less swelling, better cognitive resilience, and slower neurodegeneration. But what about your eyes? The retina is an extension of your brain. It has its own protective wall. A 2022 review in the International Journal of Ophthalmology confirmed that vitamin A and carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin strengthen the blood-retinal barrier, reducing the risk of macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. Dried apricots also contain vitamin E, iron, and copper, which help support oxygen delivery to the optic nerve and maintain the energy demands of retinal ganglion cells, crucial for sharp, contrast-rich vision. And unlike synthetic supplements, the nutrients in apricots are naturally bound with fiber, which slows down absorption and supports more even delivery throughout the night. Here's another key point. Apricots are high in chlorogenic acid, a compound that supports glucose metabolism in the brain. That means your neurons stay fueled without triggering sugar spikes, ideal for overnight repair. So how should you use them? Eat 2 to 3 pieces of dried apricot about an hour before bedtime. Choose organic, unsweetened varieties with no sulfur dioxide. You can eat them plain or paired with a few sunflower seeds or a teaspoon of almond butter to boost absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. These golden fruits aren't just delicious, they're biologically active, and for your aging brain and eyes, they are part of the shield your body needs to rebuild night after night. Now let's bring everything together with a simple, doable plan you can start tonight. So how do you turn all of this into a real habit? Something simple, effective, and easy to stick to. Here's the truth. You don't need a complicated program, and you don't need to change everything overnight. What you need is a small, steady ritual, something your body can rely on each evening to help it recover. The plan is simple. Choose 2 of the dry fruits we've talked about. One night it might be figs and raisins. Another night maybe dates and apricots. You don't need all 4 at once. In fact, rotating them through the week works better and keeps it enjoyable. Each evening, about 45 to 60 minutes before bed, prepare your snack. For figs, 2 pieces is enough. For raisins, 1 small spoonful. If you're choosing dates, 1 or 2 is perfect. And for dried apricots, just 3 pieces will do the job. The idea isn't to eat a lot, it's to eat with intention. Now here's something that makes a big difference. Don't eat the fruits alone. When you combine them with something like a few almonds, a spoon of nut butter, or even a slice of cheese, it slows down the sugar release and helps your body absorb more nutrients overnight. It also helps you stay full and satisfied without waking up at 2 a.m. hungry. If you tend to feel dry in the mouth or wake up thirsty, drink a small glass of water alongside your snack. Not too much, just enough to support digestion and hydration without disrupting your sleep, and then you're done. No counting calories, no rigid rules, no stress, just a quiet, natural way to fuel your brain and your eyes before the most important healing window of the day, your sleep. Try this for 7 nights, 1 week, that's all. And when you wake up, pay attention to how clearly you think, to how your eyes adjust to light, to how calm your brain feels. Because often it's not about doing more, it's about doing the right thing consistently and with care, and you've already taken the first step. Now let's wrap this up with a message I believe every senior deserves to hear, especially you. You've made it to the end, and that tells me something powerful. It means you care about your brain, about your vision, about staying clear, connected, and capable in the years ahead. And you know what? You deserve that. You deserve to wake up each morning without the fog, to read clearly, think quickly, and feel like yourself again, not some faded version of who you used to be. Because this isn't just about dry fruits. It's about giving your body what it needs to heal gently night after night. So let's keep this simple. Tonight, reach for 2 dried figs or maybe a few golden apricots. Pair them with a small spoon of nut butter or 5 almonds. Sit down, chew slowly. Let it become your signal, your body's quiet cue that rest and repair are coming. Then do it again tomorrow and again the next night. Just a few minutes, just a handful. But what you're really feeding is something deeper. Your brain's memory center, your eyes' delicate receptors, and your belief that health isn't behind you. It's still within reach. I've seen this work over and over in seniors who thought it was too late, in people who gave themselves just 7 days and felt sharper, calmer, clearer than they had in years. So if you've ever looked in the mirror and worried that your best years are behind you, let this be your reminder. Your brain still remembers how to heal. Your eyes still want to see. All they need is the right kind of fuel before the lights go out. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If this message meant something to you, please tap like, share it with a friend, or leave a comment below. I read every one of them, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell, and I'll be right here next week with more ways to keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your spirit full. Until then, sleep well tonight and wake up brighter.